So I just watched a very small part of a video. I keep getting links, suggestions to videos of religious people. And he was talking about a prayer Jesus had where he hoped that everyone would be unified the way he is unified with God. And that, it would solve a lot of problems. And people think that means unified like an army. What he really means, the only reason I even know this is because I was able to heal myself enough to heal the connection between myself and the Creator. I mean, since then, I've gone through some things and realizations that made me feel it better for myself to re-disconnect, because it's hard to be connected in a hell on earth, at least as far as the good guy realm is concerned, because good guys create hell on earth. But, because they go around playing God. Anyway, when you have that connection with the Creator, when you're unified with the Creator, it's much easier to understand the true parts of the Bible. A lot of times, the parts of the Bible people think are false are actually things they heard from people who misinterpret the Bible. Teachers that misinterpret the Bible. While if you want a teacher that's pretty good at being pretty accurate as far as the nature of God, I'd say Jesse Lee Peterson, but he brings up Satan and the devil and stuff like that a little bit too much for my taste, because there's no such thing. It's more of the nature of the disconnected, the habits of the disconnected, the obsessions, the obsessive compulsiveness of feeling like if you stop thinking, you might stop living, kind of thing. It's like thoughts that are destructive to yourself, but you obsess about those thoughts anyways because you don't know how to not obsess about those thoughts. I used to be like that when I was younger, a lot younger, thankfully. But well, thankfully, as far as I trained myself to not be that way as I got older. Um, but yeah, the people need to stop seeking teachers outside of themselves, because the connection that you have with God is inside yourself, your consciousness. The part of yourself that is you isn't really you. That's part of the Creator's consciousness manifesting within the vessel. And that's what one of the things Jesus was teaching, and gets misinterpreted all the time by people who want to lead other people, but they're just misleading everybody. They don't like what people do. They want power to be able to punish other people, and they use their followers to do that. It's like you can see it in every part of society where people have followers. And social media is the biggest culprit of that kind of thing. These cults of personality, where weak and simple-minded people seek out to copy other people in order to be more successful. It is literal insanity, but it's promoted because it keeps people under control. But it's just slavery, and it's anti-God. Through our connection with the Creator, that's enough of a connection to each other and all things that we need. Because once you understand your own connection to the Creator, you'll understand the Creator is in everything, all the time, and it knows everything that we couldn't possibly know. Its ability to comprehend is infinite, literally, everything is consciousness, the consciousness of the creator. You know, for us, because we're just a little focal point, it's it boggles our mind, the idea of it. But we're not, we're supposed to understand it enough from our own connection. We don't need to know what it's like to be God. We can understand it enough from our own perspective. But like the story of Babylon, we're all befuddled. We're all disconnected, and a lot of it is because of, I'd hate to say it, alcohol. Things like alcohol, things that poison the brain. And it's not just alcohol; it's so many things. Um, but the way I was able to heal myself, of course, I was exercising, and I was eating very well. As far as I was eating a lot of living food, so vegetables, raw vegetables, and this stuff called kefir. I don't know if it's pronounced that way. I don't really care, but it's like yogurt, but it's got more cultures in it, and uh, and I was focused a lot on healing the inside of myself because I had been sick most of my life with an illness called H. pylori, which was known to cause uh, ulcers in the stomach. Once they discovered the bacteria back in the 80s, they discovered that it required quite a bit to cure. So when I got cured of that, the stuff I was doing to try to heal myself actually started to work. So I did a lot of stuff to get rid of inflammation, and there's a lot of research done on that with people with kidney failure, people with heart failure, and people with um, kidney, heart, and cancer. So a lot of the diet changes, not all of them, but a lot of the diet changes that they make you do if you want to feel better while you have those illnesses uh, work. They're stuff that are worth doing for yourself to keep you from getting those illnesses and to stave off inflammation. So, two of the main doctors online that I uh, learned from were Dr. McCullough and recently Dr. Gundry, but most of what I learned was from Dr. McCullough. He goes over a lot of that kind of stuff. Um, I don't know if McCullough is even on YouTube anymore. There's a lot of people who need slavery. They need people to be broken because they think if people connect to God, they'll become religious zealots, but they have no idea what they're talking about. It's just other people who are disconnected going nuts because they start learning what people are doing to each other. Now it's like it's not necessarily going nuts because there are people who are screwing with people, and in order to enslave them, and then we don't hear about that. We only hear about when the people that they're trying to enslave start rebelling, and then we call them terrorists. And it's not they're not all like this because the people who screw with people are the actual terrorists. They use psychological warfare, and yeah, it's all psychological warfare, mimicry. Pretending to be religious, pretending to be on your side, and then they'll try to get you to follow them, or they'll sabotage your life. They'll take away everything you love. So it's the way the world has been for a very long time. So, but I'm really tired of getting these YouTube suggestions for these religious people who aren't real religious people. They're just people trying to who think that they're right, but they're just trying to basically create a little mini cult for themselves. The other people who are lost that think that they're right and agree with them just feeds their ego and eggs them on, and it's crazy, but most people go along with it because they don't know any better. And, they know that they're lost and that they're broken and they want to try to fix it any way that they can, and they feel desperate. so they're willing to go along with anybody. And then there's the people who just hate other people. They hate sinners, and they want to destroy them. They want an excuse. They want permission to destroy them. So, that's usually what starts a lot of the wars from inside the brothel casino slave culture that we're in. People, we're basically within the society that does the screwing with free people to enslave them into their gigantic cult of intellectual superiority while being completely disconnected from the creator and not ever being able to know the truth. But they think that they're truth seekers. It's like if you break someone and don't take away all their will, they're going to try to find out the truth. And these people will be like, they'll feel great about someone in that position. When it's a sad and desperate position for someone to be in. So, anyways, that's all I feel like talking about right now. I got to get ready for work. So, anyways, love you all. Good luck.